Thanks for coming.
Yes. We brought you here because we have a couple questions we need to ask you.
How are you guys doing here so far?
Good.
Alright, good. Okay, anyway, my name is Mohsin.
Let's go take the lead.
Alright. I come from one of the local newspaper. Alright. So basically, is this your first time here? Are you guys? No?
Second time.
Second time. Alright. So how was your first time? Previously?
It was great.
Yeah. First
Yeah.
time. You guys do think I can
come on.
I loved it. It was my first Southeast Asia or our collective experience, and yeah, we had chicken and rice and the chili crab. And we went to where was that? What street was that? Where we went to that chili crab?
The red light district.
Yeah.
Must be Geylang, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But yeah, no, it's everyone's super nice here and just welcoming.
That what? How many years ago? Sorry.
I think that was like 2.5 years ago.
2010.
So how different is your first time here as compared to this time around? What's different in your experiences so far?
We definitely know what we're getting into this time. Not like in a bad way, but
Yeah.
it's just like when you come somewhere for the first time to a new place, you have absolutely no idea what it's going to be like. So it feels different to return somewhere, especially somewhere this foreign to us. But it's a good place to come to.
Any outstanding experiences from your first trip here?
I thought you were going to say Warren Sora.
Well,
Outstanding charges.
Yeah, outstanding. We weren't fined for anything, which is surprising.
that's good.
Yeah.
Surprising.
The first time we came here, we played the race, the Formula One race
Yeah.
in March, and the show was really good. That was our first Asian show on Southeast Asia or Asia or anywhere. And I didn't know what to expect. And I guess Singapore is kind of more of a mixing pot, melting pot of different cultures. But it was great. It reminded me a lot of playing with the States. Just a great crowd, really responsive. There's a lot of energy feeding off the people and stuff. So yeah, I think my favorite part of the trip was probably the show.
So do
you guys wrapped the tour with Kelly Clarkson over the summer. So how was that experience like?
It was great. She was awesome. Our respect for Kelly Clarkson went up about tenfold after being on tour with her for a couple months. And she has an amazing work ethic, which is pretty inspiring. But yeah, it was fun. Really great people in her band and crew and everything. It was a good time.
So do you guys have any plans to come back to Singapore and have your own show? Something that you guys don't collaborate anyway and stuff?
That's what we're playing tonight.
Yeah, I know, but like your own solo one without like sold out concert and stuff like that. Do you guys like to come back and like have your own show?
Yeah, we would love to. We'll probably be back anytime.
Well, okay, just a bit on your latest album, Scars and Stories, right? So you guys got Brandon O'Brien, right, to collaborate with him, and he's much related with this Bruce Springsteen, Pearl Jam, and some of the big bands. So will this hiring of Brandon O'Brien working with him how will it actually influence your direction of your music? How will it change it, shift it anyway? Or what's your take on that?
I think it was he was good to have at this point in our career, because I think when you reach a certain point where you have more resources to create with, it can also kind of lead you into so many different rabbit trails, and because you can afford to overthink it and to try different things, you end up kind of killing the initial inspiration and almost the simplicity that it was what's great in art. So I think for us, like I personally love just that we didn't second guess as we were going. He's just like, if it sounds great, capture it and keep moving. And so he was very momentum and very decisive, and it challenged us. And he was also I think made us believe in ourselves more, and just believe in what we're doing and the sound that we have, and just kind of turned everything up.
On that album also, you guys mentioned that you ventured out to different countries, different places for inspiration. Most people would draw on inspiration that they already have. So how is this different for you, and why did you decide to do that?
I think for me, it was more of a, I needed to get outside the box of where I was in life. And I think, to put it simply, I think just for me, it gave me more perspective once I could get outside of the walls that I was always in, and the town I lived in, and the people that I was always hanging out with, which I still love, but just putting myself in a different culture and around new people and meeting new people and just fresh, just getting new stories and just trying to soak from other places. I think that just added so much to my life and hopefully created more songs. But yeah, I think just.
What were some of the more memorable experiences that you
There's a song called "Turn Me On" the record that I remember I told Joe I wanted to try to capture this move that I'd seen dancers do, where you jump up and like turn sideways. You see like jets do it and helicopters and stuff. So I took him indoor skydiving to try to get it, and we couldn't do it because it's fun.
Very awkward.
So I went to Rwanda, and they took me up in a helicopter, and we were flying. It was beautiful in Africa and everything. And there was these hippopotamuses off to the right, big old hippos just sitting there. I was like, "Oh, can we see the hippos?" And the guy's like, "No problem." And he like flew back and did the whole thing. And I was like sitting there with a piece of paper, like writing all these lyrics and all these ideas. And that stuff kind of turned into that song turned me on. Good hippos in Africa.
Sexy hippos.
What are some of the band's guilty pleasure songs?
Guilty pleasure. It was on the last. We were just in Australia and in Dubai, and from Australia to Dubai, I think, on international flights, it's like my excuse to watch the cheesiest movies that I would never watch at home.
Yep.
You watch like the romantic comedies that you never would, you never get caught going to it, and so you're in the plane, you're like, watch this movie. And so we all ended up watching, not knowing that we all watched it, was Katy Perry's Part of Me.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
But I was like, by the end of it, I was like emotional.
Yeah.
I was like in tears almost. And after we got off the plane, because we're all sitting in different areas, we're like, "Hey, man, what's up?" So we were like, "Did you guys watch anything?" And I was like, "Yeah, I watched." Like all three of us watched the same thing, and yeah, but just there's something about just what you think is a guilty pleasure, but then it just becomes like so deep. So yeah, that's how we should.
Yes, please.
Yeah. We would answer that call. Yeah. Speaking of, somebody just got a phone call. I don't know. So you can take that.
What is the spirit and like the principles that the Fray lives by, or the way you're doing music?
I think honesty is a big goal of ours, between each other and with ourselves and with our fans. There's a lot of ways to make money at music. A lot of things you can just do to like put them on commercials or something. Write music that's selling a lot right now, even though you don't like it or something. So I think if anything, that's been one of our, guiding principles the whole time. That it's changed and it's looked different over the years, but if it felt bad and we stopped doing it, we've definitely done things we regret. But like after a while, we're like, this isn't us. Let's not do it anymore, or let's not work with this idea or style or something. So yeah, honesty, authenticity.
A common theme with the Fray and the Fray's music is getting through like hardship and coming out stronger. So what would your advice be for your fans to get through a hard time?
As people?
Yeah, as people.
I think the anchor for me in hard times are just the closest ones to me. So I think for me, it was like once I learned to not close myself in those times, I think that's what really helped me the most, when I could just be okay with being weak and let people know that I'm pretty fucked up. So, and then it just helps. And then it's freeing to be like, everybody is actually. It's great. So you have the same. Okay, so let's cut the bullshit and we can all be real. So yeah.
That makes great music. So.
Thanks.
So what's your favorite song of Scars and Stories and why? Like each one of you. Like do you guys have like a different song you guys like?
Yeah, my favorites. It changes, I think, all the time for all of us, but right now I think my favorite's Be Still. It's really simple, it's really quiet, and like I'm the only one playing on it, but it's almost like all four of us decided very purposefully to put certain things in it and take everything else out. And it stands in big contrast to the rest of the record, which is huge and dense and awesome. Yeah, Be Still is kind of the pause, breath.
What about you?
I don't know actually right now. I don't have a
Favorite song?
I think I will at some point. But yeah, I actually haven't listened to it in quite a while too. Because we've been playing all year, playing touring all summer and this fall. And I'm at a healthy distance from it because I listened to it a lot last year. And once we finish it, there's like this narcissist phase that you go through as an artist where you right when it's fresh, you're recording, you're like excited about the sounds and what it's captured and the song that kind of evolves in front of you and just it's like right there that you are lucky enough to have. And then at a certain point, you just distance yourself from it. So I don't know.
Sorry, I have a two-part question. You mentioned before that you guys are mostly a piano-driven rock band. So are you comfortable with that musically, or are there plans to change your sound or anything like that? Given that you guys have worked with Timberland before.
Yeah, I think the way we make music is always changing. If it doesn't, I think there's something really dangerous about that. I think it's really important to evolve. So, a piano is just one predominant instrument, but I don't think we're married to that by any means, and we have all the intention to branch out for sure.
You know what? I think what's interesting what makes a band is the four or the collective inspirations and sounds that come from each. So, if it was just up to Dave, we would have one specific sound, or Ben, it would be like one sound. And so we each have individual likes and dislikes, and those all feed into the whole grade. But we'll see where we all collide.
You also mentioned that in the previous interview that you guys would like to release a new record by the end of next year, and that you came up with a song in Dallas, like in the studio. Can you tell us more about that? Like a new song record?
Yeah, I was actually listening to that demo yesterday. It's really good. We started writing a lot on this last tour, and we've done that a little bit in the past, but especially for me, it's been hard to get into that mindset and in the travel mode, like hotels and airports and stuff. But we wrote a bunch and rented a studio in Dallas and worked all day. We rented a place in Austin as well, and then something up in New York. And just recorded a couple songs fast and quick. I think we'll do a lot more of that later this month and next month and into the new year. We really want to get it out by next year.
How would you say the new album is different from the previous albums that you guys have had?
The one that we're working on now?
The third one?
Yeah, the third one.
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't made it yet.
No, she's talking about the third one.
Oh, Scars and Stories?
Yeah.
Oh. I think it's way more confident than anything else we've done before. I think we got to know ourselves better. We kind of went through an identity crisis, just like any one person does growing up. The band kind of went through the same thing, and then we kind of got to know ourselves better, and then became confident in that, who the Fray really was. And so Scars and Stories, I think, is like the most confident representation of ourselves. And now that we know that, we can kind of expand on that now for whatever we do next.
And I just gotta get this question out there. Being known for such an American band, what are you guys' reaction for today's presidential election results? Are you guys celebrating? crackers and beer, or
Oh yeah. We ordered all this.
Obama 1, get me some durian
Give me
cookies.
some tiger beer, some fish gum.
We're really excited actually. We booked a gig 2 days ago to play in at the White House on Christmas, and we didn't know if we were going to be playing for the old president or the new president. Yeah, so we're super excited.
Okay, last 3 questions.
So I have a question related. If you had to play a song for the presidential election, what would it be?
For the election?
Yeah, like to represent like a song to represent the entire election. I'm guessing not to turn me on.
To be one of ours. I think that'd be a great one.
This is for Michelle Obama. Woo!
That's you're a J. Kruger. Yeah.
So turn me
Yeah,
on.
turn me on.
I don't think you can. It has to be Springsteen. It can't
40,
be one
probably
of
48
ours.
to go, because they're like 48 more states.
What are you, okay, you said you found yourself over the traveling and everything, so I'm sure you know what you're afraid of now. What are you afraid of? Like, mishaps on stage?
Or like spiders.
As a band. Yeah.
I used to be afraid of like the comparisons. Just like, oh, you guys sound like this, or you sound like that. So I used to like be standoffish whenever it came up. But now I'm okay with that. So I guess I'm really into your question at all, because I'm not afraid of that anymore.
Okay, last question.
Okay, so do you guys have any interesting, do you have an interesting songwriting process? What is it like? Do you have any weird things you do to get inspired?
We drink.
Yeah, drink.
Not a lot though.
Yeah, we drink a reasonable amount of alcohol, and then we think. I think for writing, you have to always be looking for song inspiration, because it comes at the weirdest times, for me at least. I remember for How to Save a Life, I was at a swimming pool, and there was this sign on the wall that had like the 12 things to do if somebody's drowning, and I thought it would be so nice if there was one of those signs for life. You know, if you're freaking out and don't know who you are, first do this, then try this, and if that doesn't work, do this. And I remember sitting down, we were trying to write that song essentially, the formula for what do you do if you can't reach somebody, or what do you do if you can't get through to them. And How to Save a Life ended up being sort of an ironic statement that you can't do that. It's never that simple. It doesn't work that way. And we sort of wrote the silhouette of that answer. So it comes when you're swimming.
Little pools everywhere.